here. The guards say the singer frequently spent the night with children whose parents dropped them off at the pop star's Neverland Valley Ranch and at the Jackson family home in Encino.
Most of the time was his little friends, kids, kid with him, and they would go up to the studio, stay there a while, play games and stuff like that, and then they would leave and go to his room.
Would they spend the night?
Yes, they would spend the night.
Just last week, a judge ordered a trial set for March in a civil suit brought against the singer by a 13-year-old boy who claims Jackson molested him. Ernie?
Today, New Jersey's Democratic Party dropped its legal effort to overturn the election of Governor Christie Whitman. But tonight, African-American leaders say that they are pressing on. This was the scene in Paterson, New Jersey, as 700 supporters of the Rainbow Coalition rallied. Among the speakers, Reverends Jesse Jackson and Al Sharpton, who said that they're continuing their $500 million suit against Whitman's campaign manager, Ed Rollins, who's accused of paying to keep down the black vote.
We're in it to uphold the integrity and the respectability of the oldest, most independent institution in our community, and that is the black church.
Meanwhile, Governor-elect Christie Whitman said today that she was relieved that Democrats have dropped their legal effort. Dana?
A New Jersey town says the U.S. Supreme Court has dealt parents a devastating blow by denying them the right to decide what schools their kids go to. Englewood Cliffs is one of New Jersey's richest towns, but it does not have a high school, so kids have been sent to a predominantly black high school in Englewood. Today, the High Court rejected a move by the Englewood Cliffs School Board to send students to a predominantly white school in Tenafly. Another case before the Supreme Court challenges the constitutional boundary separating church and state. The case involves a public school district in Orange County, 50 miles north of the city, created solely for the Hasidic Jewish children who are disabled. New York courts ruled that the Kiryas Joel School District is an unconstitutional government endorsement of religion.
Earlier, we told you about a grandmother who was gunned down tonight while her grandson watched. We are live right now in Harlem. Pat Battle is standing by with more details in that story. Pat?
Ernie, the details are absolutely horrifying. It was just about 7:45 tonight. 50-year-old Nilma Rivas was on her way home from the grocery store, a gallon of milk and a dozen eggs in one hand, her 6-year-old grandson at her side. She was walking here along 2nd Avenue, had just crossed onto 118th Street when a running gun battle broke out here between two groups of young men, some bullet casings as far as a block away. And Nilma Rivas was caught in the crossfire of that gun battle. A bullet hit her in her right leg, hit a major artery, and two 25 precinct police officers who were just a block away told me that by the time they arrived on the scene here just minutes later, she was already unconscious. Nilma Rivas died an hour later at Harlem Hospital of massive bleeding. Now, homicide detectives are on the scene here at 118th Street in East Harlem. They tell me they are canvassing the streets looking for suspects and or witnesses. So far, their search has turned up little more than the horrible scene here and the bullet casings that are lining the block here, but they do hope to make a collar in this. This, they say, is a horrible, vicious crime. They say that this is a terrible drug area. We all know that there are plenty of them here on the streets of New York, but tonight we see just another example of just how mean these streets can be. A 50-year-old grandmother gunned down, walking home from the store with her little grandson at her side. Again, homicide detectives on the scene, canvassing the neighborhood, and they hope to collar a suspect in this one. I'm Pat Battle reporting live from East Harlem. Let's go back to you in the studio. Ernie, Dana.
Thank you, Pat. In other news, the Supreme Court has now ruled the New York City mugger can keep the $4 million negligence award that he won as a result of his crime. Bernard McCummings has been paralyzed since he was shot by a transit cop in 1984. He had just been mugged 72-year-old Jerome Sadusky. But McCummings sued the transit authority, claiming the cops used excessive force in pushing him, or I should say in pursuing him. Today, the High Court declined to reconsider the state court award. Dana?
You might soon start seeing horse-drawn carriages cruising the streets of Midtown Manhattan, despite the objections of animal rights advocates. A city council committee today voted to expand the hours and areas where the hansom cabs can operate. Right now, the 68 carriages are restricted primarily to Central Park, but drivers say the area is too small to make a living.
There's not a living here for that many carriages.
Yeah.
You know, and we have to have some access to the streets. They've denied it completely to us.
The full council will vote on the bill on December 9th. Ernie?
Coming up next tonight, a warning about your mail and your money.
I would never think oh, somebody's gonna try to get money from me, like sending me an invoice that looks like an invoice, appears like an invoice, but it's not.
But that's what a company is accused of doing, and our Shame on You team found that she wasn't the only one who got taken by a bogus bill.
Plus, a diet that hundreds of people say really works and satisfies your appetite, and why Hillary Rodham Clinton is striking a pose. Storm focuses on the weather. Storm?
Well, I'm not going to strike any pose, but I think this week's weather is going to bring a smile to many faces, and I'll have all the details on what you can look forward to if you're ready to bundle up a little bit when we come back.
Channel 2 News, sponsored by Air France.
It's about time and making the most of it. When was the last time you broke the sound barrier on your way to work? Now for American Express card members, business fast. Fly the Concorde for the price of business class, only on Air France.
The legendary watch dial, exhibited in distinguished museums around the world, is the design inspiration for the Movado Museum collection of watches. Movado, the museum watch.
Bad to the bone. Bad to the bone. It's big, it's bad, it's truck.
Movado, the museum watch.
Next time you get a bill in the mail, you better make sure it's the real thing. Channel 2 Shame on You team has tracked down bogus bills that are tricking people into turning over their hard-earned money. Here's Arnold Diaz with more on how you can tell the difference.
Shame, 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 shame on you.
Could you give any of these people their money back?
Yes. Talk to my lawyer.
This California woman, say postal inspectors, is mailing businesses this. It looks like a bill, it reads like a bill, but it isn't. Yet companies nationwide are being fooled into paying what they think is a bill for the ads they placed in their local classifieds.
I would never think, oh, somebody's gonna try to get money from me, like sending me an invoice that looks like an invoice, appears like an invoice, but it's not.
Mary's company put a want ad in the New York Times. When she got what looked like a bill from a California company called Employment Classifieds, she assumed they were the billing agent for the Times and sent a check for $138. But Employment Classifieds has nothing to do with the Times.
It's very easy for people to be fooled if they have different invoices coming in that look similar.
The phony bill is very cleverly done. It talks about your advertisement, refers to the date and size of the ad, even includes a copy of the ad. You're asked to send a check to the accounts receivable department, told to pay this bill and pay promptly, and many are.
Only in one place on the invoice does it say this is not an invoice.
The only indication that this is not a real bill is this pale yellow disclaimer at the bottom that says this is a solicitation. Have a hard time seeing it? That's no accident. Medical experts say your eye can't focus on the yellow print against the sky blue background. And watch what happens when you go to photocopy this document, as most companies do. The disclaimer totally disappears. If it's not a bill, what is it? Well, Employment Classifieds claims it's an offer to rerun your ad in its California publication, a newspaper postal inspectors say no one's ever seen.
Okay, this is a false billing scheme. Generally, there is no paper. We searched high and low for the paper. The paper was not available.
So I asked my colleague at KCBS in Los Angeles, Judd McElvain, to go talk to Erica Cordy, the owner of Employment Classifieds.
Do you have a newspaper where you run these ads? Because
Yes.
no one's ever seen it. Could you show us a copy of it?
I don't have a copy with me.
You don't have a copy. A lot of these people feel that they may be scammed because they sent money and they thought it was a bill. They didn't realize that they were putting an ad in your paper.
You'll have to talk to my lawyer. I can't discuss this right now with you.
Businesses and organizations from Kentucky to Maine to Illinois to Houston have sent checks to Employment Classifieds for hundreds of dollars each. Postal inspectors estimate the company's receiving at least $5,000 a day at this mail drop in California. So into our Hall of Shame, we induct Erica Cordy, the owner of Employment Classifieds, a company allegedly making big bucks mailing bogus bills.
Shame, 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 shame on you.
The Postal Service is now suing Employment Classifieds, one of 16 such false billing schemes nationwide that are taking in an estimated $64 million a year. While there's no shame in being victimized, the woman in our report was so embarrassed at having paid that bill, she didn't want her real name used.
So easy to be fooled.
Honest mistake.
It's a very clever scheme.
Thank you for the awareness.
Okay.
Artie. Michigan authorities are calling suicide doctor Jack Kevorkian a fugitive tonight. Just one day after police raided his Royal Oak apartment, a warrant is now out for his arrest. Authorities say that Kevorkian was supposed to surrender today to face charges in last month's suicide of a 72-year-old woman who suffered from Lou Gehrig's disease. Kevorkian's lawyer says the doctor will turn himself in tomorrow.
Still ahead tonight, we're going to show you pictures of America's First Lady as you've never seen her before, plus the revolutionary diet that some swear is good for your waistline and good for your heart.
Plus, kids kick off a campaign to make Christmas wishes come true. How you can help out, too, when we continue.
In an age of anonymous luxury cars, a Jaguar remains defiantly individual. Because Jaguar has a design philosophy that doesn't change with the wind.
They brought computer technology to a tradition-bound business, and by their first anniversary reached a volume of 2.2 billion shares. Their stock market soon became the model for markets around the world. And today, 20 years later, NASDAQ is trading stock in more companies than any other market on earth. You can't buy shares in this innovative, fast-growing company, but you can share in their success. NASDAQ, the stock market for the next 100 years.
AT&T just announced to the world that they will, quote, move gracefully away from the iPlan. Well, this is an invitation from MCI to all AT&T iPlan customers. Move gracefully yourself right now to MCI and the savings that MCI delivers. Call now and we'll start you off with $20 worth of free long distance.
What's to become of a woman who won't stand for lies in a world that can't handle the truth?
You understand that you could go to prison for the rest of your life for this.
Deborah Winger.
I don't lie.
Barbara Hershey.
You can't protect anyone's reputation. What matters now is you.
Gabriel Byrne.
Sometimes we have to tell lies just to get to the truth.
You think you know everything about me. Don't know anything.
A Dangerous Woman. Rated R. Starts Friday at select theaters.
ShopRite does it right for the holidays.
ShopRite wants to save you more money for the holidays with special prices on 100 clear and multicolor Christmas lights, $3.99. This 18-piece construction mighty machine set is $19.99. And this 26-inch remote control fire engine with extending and retracting ladder and more, $49.99. When it comes to holiday shopping, ShopRite saves you more money.
ShopRite does it right for the holidays.
There's no guarantee that a diet will work, but hundreds of followers of one doctor's plan swear they've kept their stomachs happy, made their hearts healthy, and lost weight at the same time. Channel 2 Stormfield has more in this special report, Feast and Be Healthy.
This might be the typical American dinner. Meat, potatoes, high-fat dairy products, and rich, creamy desserts. And if you are what you eat, this can be the result. Heart disease so severe it requires surgery and/or endless medication.
In 1990, nearly 1 million Americans died of heart disease. Every day, 4,000 of us have heart attacks. Millions more have high blood pressure and high levels of cholesterol. Time bombs ticking inside our bodies. The good news, however, is that if you are willing to take some drastic steps, you can improve your health.
Dr. Dean Ornish is a California internist and author of 2 bestsellers on nutrition and heart disease. After taking patients with severe heart problems and putting them on a strict diet, adding stress reduction and meditation techniques, after just a few days, they were showing signs of improvement.
There's increasing evidence showing that emotional stress can affect your heart. It can make the plaque build up and faster in your arteries. These are techniques that are really designed to quiet down your mind and body enough to experience more of an inner sense of peace and joy and well-being.
After 1 year, heart disease had actually reversed for many patients. And recently, Ornish's 4-year program showed even more dramatic reversals for those who stayed on the program. And that's the rub, because the diet part, at least, is quite rigid. It limits your fat content to 10% of your calories instead of our usual diet, which is 40 to 50% fat.
This is a low-fat vegetarian diet with fruits, primarily fruits, vegetables, grains, beans, non-fat dairy. It excludes all oils and all animal products except for those.
At least one major insurance company is banking on Ornish being able to change the tide. This summer, Mutual of Omaha agreed to cover his program.
Cost effectiveness is a central feature.
Ornish's program costs $5,500. In 1990, the average cost for bypass surgery was more than $43,000. For angioplasty, nearly $15,000. So you can see clearly now why insurance companies that once had been reluctant to cover preventative medicine are looking at it rather differently today. Unfortunately, most doctors today aren't trained in preventative care, and medical schools give almost no training at all in nutrition. Tomorrow, we're going to get to meet one Ornish patient and learn how the program has changed his life. Plus, word that the program is coming to a hospital in this area.
There is something we can do. Thank you, Storm. All right, you have seen Hillary Clinton as wife, mom, and health crusader. Well, take a look at her now. The First Lady graces the pages of Vogue magazine in a fashion shoot. Photographer Annie Leibovitz and Mrs. Clinton relaxed by playing Barbra Streisand songs. But the music wasn't enough when it came to the dress. It's designed to be worn off the shoulder, but the First Lady pulled it right up to her neck. Oh, well. She's pretty busy. She does look
pretty
nice.
also. Coming up next, up a tree. That's where Hillary Clinton was today.
First Lady carries on a White House tradition in the spirit of Christmas. No, you're not seeing things. Plus, how some Shakespeare fans are playing havoc with street signs. When we continue.
There's something new you can do with your Nice card. You can buy gas. Okay, then fill her up. But only at the gas station. It's as easy as using a Nice ATM. Just insert your card, enter your secret code, and the amount is automatically deducted from your bank account. So now when it comes to filling her up, make it nice and simple. Make it nice and simple with your Fleet 24 card.
It's the Dodge Shadow last call. Our special allotment of extra 94 Dodge Shadows is almost gone, so you've got to hurry. And you can take advantage of $1,000 cash back, meaning you can own a new Dodge Shadow for just over $8,400. Every Shadow also comes with over 40 standard features, including power steering, power brakes, a driver's airbag, and more. Plus low down payment, on-the-spot financing, immediate delivery. So don't miss the Dodge Shadow last call. See your nearest Dodge dealer today.
You've driven these streets 1,000 times. But tonight, there's something different. Tonight, you're using Exxon 93 Supreme gasoline for a cleaner engine, smooth acceleration, and a full 93 octane.
Let the tiger set you free.
Rely on Exxon Supreme.
Rely on the tiger.
Everyone I've told about the brief is dead.
I'll take my chances.
From the best-selling author of The Firm and The Client comes the suspense thriller of the year. Julia Roberts, Denzel Washington. The Pelican Brief, rated PG-13, starts Friday, December 17th at a theater near you.
Join Dave with James Belushi and
Lauren Holly.
If I'm going to be in your living room every night, maybe I should start paying rent.
Murphy, that package you sent to Denver, it never got there.
Introducing tracking software from Federal Express.
It was picked up at 5:20 last night, and it was delivered at 9:42 a.m. and signed for by Kate Donovan. Shall I call her for you, sir?
Never mind. Now you can track packages right from your computer on your desk.
Dear Santa Claus, hello.
I would like it if you can help me this Christmas. I come from a poor family and my parents will not have any money left after paying their bills.
That's just one of the thousands of letters local boys and girls have written to Santa Claus this year, and the letters are all stacked up, waiting to be answered at Manhattan's main post office. Operation Santa Claus is aimed at making sure children's wishes come true this Christmas, whether it's a toy or a warm coat. Old St. Nick kicked off the program today along with dozens of young friends, but more help is needed. If you would like to take part, call the number you see there. Operation Santa Claus, 212-967-8585. Ernie?
That is the right number.
That is the
You
right
had it
number.
right up there. Okay, and it's also getting a lot to look like Christmas right now at our nation's capital. First Lady Hillary Clinton rode a cherry picker to the very top of the national Christmas tree to hang the first ornament, a giant star. The national Christmas tree stands on the Washington Ellipse, right across from the White House and the First Family. We're really getting in the mood, aren't we?
Yes.
We got the Christmas tree.
Time to count the days and all that stuff.
And we've got the weather.
And here he is, Scrooge. No.
Scrooge.
What do we have, bad weather?
Well, no, we had lovely weather today.
Okay.
Bright sunshine, a little on the cool side. More cool weather in store for all of us, and still a lot more sunshine. And if you're lucky living in the northern or western sections, you might actually get to see a little bit of snow. So here's what we have outside right now. 41 degrees, humidity 53%, winds from the west at 8 miles an hour, and the temperature is a little bit cooler as you move out into this region. Overnight tonight, expect the readings to be quite a bit cooler, readings around 35 degrees here in town. As you move into the suburbs, north and west of the city, you might be seeing a few flurries as a little bit of low pressure swings across the region. It might be just enough moisture and just enough cold air in the higher elevations to squeeze out a little bit of moisture. You might get to see a little bit of snow, but really not much of an event for anyone else. Temperatures, as you can see, pretty much to the normal levels for this time of year. All right, satellite picture is showing us this evening a wedge here of clear skies. You've got that little low in here, some high clouds making its way through, but for the most part, we've got high pressure stretching from the east coast all the way on back to the west coast. Back in here, you've got one low that's making its way into the midsection of the country, but high up, and another one making its way on shore. The two of them will kind of come together, and by the end of the week, they'll get here, but it's going to be a long week before they come. So expect a good 3-4 days of sunshine and gradually getting milder in terms of temperatures as we go through this week, which is definitely some sweet news to the weather ears. As far as our map for tomorrow, looking for a gorgeous day, calm, crisp. Early in the morning, it'll be a bit on the brisk side, but the temperatures are going to be slowly warming up, getting up to about 42 tomorrow, which again is fairly close to normal. But notice as we go through this week, right on through the entire 4 days to end up on Friday, we slowly warm up every day a couple of degrees up into the 50s by Friday. Possibility of some showers coming in on Saturday, but the system's moving very quickly, so the entire weekend won't be a wash either.
Great weather here. Thanks, Storm. Made us all feel good tonight. On Manhattan's Upper West Side, a crosswalk is offering a whimsical suggestion to pedestrians. The Walk Don't Walk sign outside the Shakespearean Company bookstore now says to be or not to be. It's believed to be the work of the same self-styled urban artist who has been doctoring other city crosswalks in the past few weeks. Dana?
Be careful. Now let's take a look at some of the stories that will be making news tomorrow, Tuesday, November 30th. New York State Democratic leaders will announce what action they plan to take on allegations that Republicans intimidated voters during the recent mayoral election. President Clinton will sign the Brady bill into law. The measure requires a 5-day waiting period for anyone who wants to buy a handgun. And the NFL is expected to announce the site of a second expansion team. Cities in the running: St. Louis, Baltimore, Memphis, and Jacksonville.
And coming up next tonight, the $21 million that nearly got away from a man with a winning lottery ticket.
Plus, the Nets fight to keep from turning into West Coast losers.
Yes, on the switch, he ends up.
All of these children have one thing in common. All of them were unplanned pregnancies. Pregnancies that could have ended in abortion. But their parents toughed it out, listened to their hearts, and discovered along the way that sometimes the best things in life aren't planned. Life, what a beautiful choice.
When you're expecting, it's important to get complete prenatal care, the kind offered by HIP. We can help you have a happy, healthy baby with virtually no out-of-pocket expenses. Health coverage from HIP. It can help you sleep just like a baby.
A famous profile, a proven winner, and genuine leader. So, Pat Riley, how about that Mercury Sable?
Oh, you're talking about the car. Anything else I have to know?
Well, now you can lease Mercury Sable for $269 a month with $16.15 down and enjoy the security of standard dual airbags, V6 power, the traction of front-wheel drive, and a famous new profile every 2 years.
A new deal every 2 years? Take it. At your Lincoln Mercury dealer, everybody wins.
Exclusive from inside the Jackson compound. Find out what really went on behind the scenes. The truth about Michael on hard copy.
Tomorrow at 7, then at 7:30.
On the next Entertainment Tonight, check out the new pinup calendar with Lonnie Anderson and Hollywood's sexiest women. Plus, on the set of Bill Cosby's new film for a rare look at this master at work on the next E.T.
Tomorrow at 7:30, right after hard copy on Channel 2.
As New York City Controller, I know how important it is to save for all New Yorkers. That's why we started the NYC Bonds program. NYC Bonds are tax-free and affordable to help you save for your retirement, your child's education, or any other long-term goal. I'm pleased to say we're offering NYC Bonds again.
NYC Bonds start at $1,300. To learn more, call 1-800-776-2017.
NYC Bonds, tax-free and affordable.
Here's the story now. The jackpot was nearly $21 million, and a Pennsylvania man with the winning lottery ticket almost didn't claim his prize in time. 2 more days and it would have been too late for Joe Jones of Harrisburg. See, Jones bought a lottery ticket last November. He put it in a box with a bunch of other tickets that he thought were losers. After hearing no winner had come forward, well, he went right through the tickets last week, found the winning ticket, and he turned it in 2 days before it was set to expire. Lucky.
$21 million.
21 mil. How about that?
Almost missed it. Pierce Rock, not talking about winners, though.
No, Nets wish they had never left home. The Nets are trying to get their NBA act together out in L.A. Winless on their latest West Coast swing, the Nets hope tonight's game against the Clippers makes for a happier flight back home. Doesn't look good right now. Nets looking bad early. Clips took a 36-21 first period lead, Manning with the miss, but Stanley Roberts with the follow jam. Nets tried to regroup in this one. P.J. Brown would get the steal here, then he would coast in to rock the rim, but the Nets still trailed by 20 midway through the second. Right now, late in the second period, Nets trail by 17. At the Alamo Dome, the Spurs got their 5th straight win, beating the Bucks tonight. Lloyd Daniels to David Robinson. Jam! Then, of course, there was teammate Dennis Rodman. Who would he find? The Admiral, who rocks the rim again. 102-95 Spurs, the final score. In college hoops tonight, Oklahoma State bounces Oral Roberts 94-52, but even the winning Cowboys were left in amazement after this play. Check out the alley-oop effort by Oral Roberts. Fritz Smith, the little guy, really gets up. It's worth another look. Now, maybe he did hang on the rim a little too long for the referees, but it was still a rim rocker to remember. On the ice, all 3 locals off tonight, so let's head up to Toronto, where the league-leading Leafs were blanked by Buffalo. Wayne Presley broke a scoreless tie in the 3rd period, beating Dennis Potvin here. Buffalo went on to score 2 more unanswered to beat the Maple Leafs 3-0. Well, the Broncos have the drive. The 49ers have the catch. Now the Giants may have what turns out to be the kick. Brad DeLuiso's 54-yard game-winning field goal not only gave the Giants a victory over the Cardinals, it also gives the boys in blue a 1-game lead over Dallas. Ironically, a field goal was the difference between the Cowboys.
2 to deserve to win the game yesterday.
Well, Raul Alegre with a big kick against the Vikings during the Super 86 season. Matt Barr did it against Phoenix in 1990 Super Bowl season. Could it happen again? Stay tuned. I'm rocking that sports. Dana?
Never know. Thanks, Rock. That's Channel 2 News for this Monday night. I'm Dana Tyler.
I'm Ernie Anastos. Now stay tuned for The Late Show with David Letterman. And remember to get your first news of the day tomorrow morning from Channel 2 News at 5:55. For all of us, have a good night. See you tomorrow.